everyone's doing good tonight. I am back again to talk about some of the things that I touched on in the last video about safety when you are camping with pets, especially at night. The last video, in case you didn't see it, I told a story about when our younger dog Z ran off when I took him outside to use the bathroom at about 3 in the morning, and then we spent an hour and a half looking for him. The first thing that I recommend that everyone have, and remember to take with you, because I didn't, is some sort of quality flashlight. It doesn't have to be this large. This is just a push tab to turn it on. And then my husband and I have other ones as well where you have it at the back to turn it on. Just something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be heavy duty. Just something to give you more light than the moon or the random star street lamp that my dog ran under. The next thing is leashes. Obviously, if you have dogs with you. This was the leash that Z was on. This is just a regular leash that we got at PetSmart or Pet Supply, somewhere like that. Technically, since he is the stronger puller between him and Django, Z probably should have been on this leash. This is what is called a Thunder leash. If any of you are familiar with the Thunder shirt, that's a brand where it's like for an anxiety. If dogs have anxiety with separation or with thunderstorms, it'll help them feel like they're being hugged. They make a leash called a Thunder leash. It's a little more sturdy, a little more wider. And this one actually transforms into a harness, which I should have had Z on. It stops them from pulling. It sort of puts pressure on their chest so they don't pull as hard. And this is what I was training him with. But the night that he ran off on me, I just attached him to a leash and off we went. And it wasn't the right leash. So make sure you have the right leash for the right dog. And this would transform back into a leash. You just take it out of the harness here, slip it out. Of course, it's not slipping out nicely for me. And then it can transform right back into just a regular leash that you clip onto their collar. I got this at PetSmart. It was maybe $30. But it's a very good leash, and both dogs respond to the harness when we use it on them when we walk. I definitely recommend one of these. Again, this is called a Thunder leash. This is the e-collar that I was talking about in the last video. This is the not shock collar. This is like a buzz. We have 2 of these. Each dog has a collar and each dog has a corresponding buzzer. We have them labeled. This is Django's. Z has his own. And then we have the collars that look a little different. Z's is black and Django's is red, so we don't get them mixed up. You work this by, you can clip it onto your person, or you can just hold it, hand hold it. There's a light here as well, a spot to turn the light on the collar, and you just hit it, and once will make it flash, and twice will turn it on solid. This would have been helpful on either dog out at night, obviously. Then just hit it once more time to turn it off. Right now it's on 0, but if you have it on the dog's neck and you can turn it up, and then and then you would hit one of these side buttons here to activate it if the dog was not listening to you, if you needed him to come back to you or what have you, if you weren't sitting when you wanted him to sit. And I'll test this on myself as best I can. I know you guys can't feel what I feel, but again, this is not a shock collar. Right now I have it on 30, but that may be too much for me. put it on 25. When you hit the button, it feels like your hand is going to sleep. That's sort of the shock that you get, but it doesn't hurt. It's just enough to get the dog's attention. Now, if they start yelping, obviously it's a little too high and you need to turn it down. These go up to like 99, but I've never had to go past maybe 30 in a crowded area with my dogs. When we're at home training, it's obviously lower. You just have to use common sense. If the dog is more excitable and you're around a lot of people, you probably have to turn it up. If you're just at home training in your kitchen and working on some reviews with him, it probably needs to be lower. So if I had used that, I could have tried to get Z's attention more than me just yelling after him, and possibly he would have turned around and come back, or at least sat down. But he wasn't wearing that collar at the time. We had taken them off that night, so the dog's necks could rest, because there are spokes, and it'll sit on the dog's neck. So they do need to come off every now and then so they don't get indents in their neck. So that was another mistake. Dog should have been wearing that, and I probably would have been able to have better control over him if he were. And of course, good training with the dog. I have this mini educator, which is what it's called. I couldn't think of the name the other night. And this collar were both recommended to us when we signed Django up for off-leash dog training. Now that is that's a training course that's offered in the Charlotte and surrounding areas. So if you're not a North Carolina resident or Charlottean, then you may not have that option. They have a bunch of different training packages, but we have Django in it mainly because he's a very fearful dog, and we wanted to get him some exposure to some different sorts of things. So that's how we found this collar, and it really works, as long as you stick with it and keep the training up. They really do respond well to this, especially because it's not painful stimuli at all. It's just uncomfortable and sudden. You know, when there's a weird feeling at their neck, they'll stop doing what they're doing and sort of look down and see what's going on. So we bought one for Z when we got Z as well. And so far so good. So I really regret not having the collars on the dogs the night that Z made his escape, but I'm very thankful that he made his way back anyway, and lesson learned. So if you guys have anything like that, prong collar, you know, anything like that, just to try to keep your dog's attention when you do take them out. That's the main point. That's all that I can think of right now that I hadn't mentioned in the last video. I wanted to let you guys know that we do plan on doing a giveaway. We have a surprise giveaway coming up. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to be giving away or when, but it is in the works. We are talking about it. I think if we can get 25 or more subscribers to the YouTube channel, or 25 people in the Facebook group, or both, would be awesome. But either or, since we're just starting out, then we will release a video involving the surprise giveaway. And stay tuned for more details. We'll be back, and have a good night, guys.